study about muscles of mastication. So if you see, muscles of mastication are nothing but the general four muscles which are together combining and making movement of mastication. So if you're having your lunch, if you're eating your dinner, if you're eating anything, what are the muscles that are helping you? These are the muscles. They are the muscles of mastication, these four muscles which help you. Now these muscles are usually derived from the first pharyngeal arches. That is what you need to know. Another thing, what is the name of these muscles? You have masseter muscle, temporalis, lateral pterygoid and the medial pterygoid. So just remember, there are two pterygoids and one masseter and the temporalis muscle that is responsible. Another thing, what is the nerve which is supplying to these muscles? It is the mandibular nerve. Okay, you know that which part it is of the cranial nerve. So you know this is the mandibular nerve responsible for the muscles of mastication. Now action, as I just told you, it helps in chewing and mastication. Coming to the muscles now. We would be looking to the origin, insertion and the action of these muscles. Okay, before we go to that, just see in this picture, you can see there are two muscles. This is the temporalis, this is the masseteric muscle. Okay, the temporalis and the masseteric muscle, these are the two largest size muscles that you see here. Okay, one temporalis is a fan shaped muscle. You can remember this, it comes in an MCQ at times. What is the fan shaped muscle? So it is the temporalis, which is a fan shaped muscle. Now just remember one thing here, they are very down to earth muscle. With this particular mnemonic or with this particular point, you will remember that what is the insertion and origin, like what is the pathway. So basically these muscles, they go from up to down. Okay, they are going from up to down. This is the, like, they arise from a upper area and they go and insert into a lower area. So that is how they work. Again, if you go for the masseteric muscle, it is going to go from up and down. It arises from somewhere upper and goes to a later downward structure. Now how are you going to remember this particular direction? You will remember it by this particular mnemonic, that is, they are very down to earth muscles. We always go up to down. Okay, now coming to the first muscle, that is the temporalis muscle. As I just said you, it is a big fan shaped muscle. It arises from the temporal fossa plus from the temporal fascia. Now in the picture you can see, this is the region of the temporal fossa and temporal fascial. So it is arising from here and it goes down deeper to a structure that is said to be the coronoid process. Now you know this is somewhere where you find the coronoid process. Okay, so it goes from up to down. I hope it is clear. It goes from up to down. Okay, now coming to the action. See, just remember a point here, your temporalis muscle and your masseteric muscle. These are the big muscle, the elder muscles. Now remember, the elders of our family, they're always people who are very scared of us. Don't go there, don't go, don't do this, don't do that. So they are always very, very scared. They will put some kind of restrictions over you. Okay, similarly, the action of temporalis is, it will lead to retraction. It will pull you back. Okay, it is like pull you back means it is going to pull the mandible back. So like the elders of our family, they always kind of pull us back from doing the wrong things, right? Similarly, the temporalis is going to have this action of pulling back the mandible. That is also said to be retraction. They will all, the elders always say that shut your mouth, don't speak this, don't speak that, think before you speak. Similarly, the action here of the temporalis is closure of the mouth. As it is a very big and elder muscle, it is always going to put certain restrictions and closure of the mouth. These are the two things. Same comes with the masseter also. Now coming to its origin, first it arises from the zygomatic arch. This area here is your zygomatic arch. So this is where it arises from and then it goes down. Now this is the ramus area. It goes from this particular area to your ramus area. Okay. So the origin is from the zygomatic arch, insertion from the ramus of the mandible. Again, as I said you, it is the elder member of the family, the elder muscle, the big muscle. It is going to lead to closure of the mouth. Now coming to the lateral and the medial pterygoids, the two pterygoids which we have. Remember one thing, both the temporalis and the masseter, which are single muscles, have single origin site. Okay, they arise from one side. Remember it like it starts from one point and then it goes to one single point. The thing is not same with the lateral and the medial pterygoid. The lateral and medial pterygoid, they start from two places but they go and insert into one places. Okay, so here you have single origin, single insertion, but in case of your lateral pterygoid, you have two heads. So you have two places where they are going to arise from. You have upper head in the lateral pterygoid muscle, then you have a lower head. Insertion is at a single site. First, looking to the origin, the upper head is going to arise from the infratemporal surface, and the lower head is going to take its origin from the lateral pterygoid plate of sphenoid. You know the sphenoid bone has got two plates, no? It has got a lateral pterygoid plate and a medial pterygoid plate. So it is going to arise from the lateral pterygoid plate, but remember, from the lateral surface. So the lower head is going to arise from the lateral surface of the lateral pterygoid muscle. Now coming to the insertion, it goes and inserts into the mandible on the pterygoid fovea. So pterygoid fovea is basically, if this is your condylar head, okay, so a deeper projection here on the inferior surface, this is somewhere the pterygoid fovea, this, okay. So that is where it goes and inserts. Again, as I told you, when masseter and temporalis are the elder muscles which are putting restrictions, the lateral and the medial pterygoid are the lower kids, okay. They are small kids, they are always wanting for freedom, so their action is going to be completely opposite. It will lead to opening of the mouth. They all, you know, small kids, they just say anything abruptly, they don't think before they speak. So again, they are going to have this action of opening of the mouth, or you can say depression of the mandible, one and the same thing. They'll always go side to side movements. Small kids, whenever you put restrictions, they try to run here and there, okay. So they go from side to side movements, and again protraction of the mandible, which is going forward. They believe in going forward. Youth these days, we believe in going forward, right? We don't want restrictions. So that is the difference between lateral and medial pterygoid and masseter and temporalis. Whereas these two muscles always restriction, closing, these things, whereas the lateral and medial pterygoid opening about, it's always about opening the mouth, side to side movement, going forward. Always the bold things are done by these muscles. Now coming to the medial pterygoid, the last muscle to be discussed here. Again, to head to origin, as I told you, pterygoids to head to origin. Here we have the superficial head and we have a deep head. The superficial head is going to put on the origin from the maxillary tuberosity. I hope you know the landmark where it is. Maxillary tuberosity is basically the posterior most portion of the arch. Okay, now deep head, the deep head is going to arise from the lateral pterygoid plate, same as the medial pterygoid, no? Same, lateral pterygoid plate here, lateral pterygoid plate here. The only difference is it comes from the medial surface and that comes from the lateral surface, okay. So basically it is the surface that is changing, otherwise the landmark is same. Now coming to insertion, it takes its insertion into the ramus of the mandible from the inner aspect. So it's basically the inferior surface of the mandible, the inner surface of the mandible, where it is going and inserting into, okay. Lastly, coming on to action, again side to side movement and protraction are same thing, but this is the one single exception you need to remember in this whole lecture, that it helps in closure of the mouth. In two kids, one kid is the one which listen to the parents, okay. So parents are telling to close the mouth and he will close his mouth. The other one, he'll definitely speak up, the bolder child. So here is the exception. This one muscle is not going to help in opening of the mouth, but it helps in the closure of the mouth. I hope this concept was clear to you. If this video helped you, please let me know in the comment section. Also let me know your reviews, and do like and share this video with your friends. Thank you so much.